Hello, today I would like to show you something that I was working for a long time to gather all the pieces together, and finally it is the automatic antenna tuner for the Clansman tactical VHF radios. It was meant to be used on the PRC 351 and PRC 352. I don't think it will be able to operate on the PRC 350, not because of the antenna connector, but because the PRC 350 is not operating from a 24-volt battery, and that one requires a 24-volt power supply. So I think it won't be able to run. If it is possible, then please correct me. And this setup uses a couple of different elements, and the first, what you can see, is a box that we stick on top our antenna, our radiating element. You just put a 2-meter rod over here and you attach this device. Most likely you can see this on the British Land Rover, and we've got this part is rubberized, so your antenna have a little bit of movement while driving. And over here is the antenna tuning unit, and this is a real antenna tuner because it's very close to the antenna, so it's not only matching your impedance line, but it's matching directly your whip antenna, trying to lengthen it up, because the original one was a 2-meter length, so that's too short for the tactical VHF. So we can electrically make it longer, sync longer, and also the device built in have a filter. So it's also acting like a selective unit, radio frequency. So when your two devices are operating close together, then this device should eliminate the noise from the second radio that can block your receiver. So very heavy, very big metal box. That's the model number. I will hold it for you. Base antenna element, and we've got also some markings over here. Very heavy. Hopefully that was on car, so you don't have to carry that. That's the only positive thing about that. And let's see what's inside. And inside, after opening that flap, we've got our antenna tuner, and I'm going to show you it closely. So this is our signal output. This is our output that's going straight to the metal rod that will be our radiating element on the base top. And over here we've got a very beefy ground. Most likely that will be also bound to the car chassis. So this is very important to have a nice solid connection. I'm going to unplug it because we are going to use it on the bench for the testing. So this is our output on the BNC, just standard regular BNC. This is our input, and this is our control signal. And on the side, over here and over here, we've got a notch that allow us to put cables. I'm going to take only our antenna matching unit Okay, and as you can see, we are left with an empty box that's still quite heavy. Our BNC connector, the earth, and basically that's nothing interesting in that, so I'm going to put it aside and we will have a little bit of fun. So this is our antenna tuning unit made by Racal. The model number is 543. You've got the NATO stock number in case you would be interested. Very nice, well made. And basically there is nothing else. Over here we've got the element for the moisture remove. And that's all. That's very simple device. But it requires, to be operated, it requires a panel that will allow us to control the tuning cycle, show you what's going on, and allow you to switch between normal and silent. I've got it opened because I was rewiring. Over here we've got a connector that was used to connect to the radio, and that was a special cable. It have a reverse plug. That's what was mounted over here. So as you can see, it's a Clansman 7-pin plug, but it's like reverse to protect against accidental connecting into a wrong socket. But I do not have any cables for that, so I replaced that plug with a standard one, which is a female, and I just rewire that, and I connect the wires straight. So the A is A, B is B, C is C, and so on. So I make that modification, and that will allow me to use a standard cable, which I have to find. Okay, so I've got the cable, and this is a standard cable that have on both sides the standard 7-pin plug, the male plug, and this is a straight cable, and that means that pin A will be pin A, pin B will be pin B. So there are 1-to-1 cable. This is the model number. And we can connect it over here, and then we can go to the PRC 351. Okay, and that will take the power, also the PTT line and the audio from the radio. So we do not need to make any connection to this box. And we need a second cable. The second cable that is labeled the antenna tuning unit. And it's over here. And this is also using a standard 7-pin plug. So I use a computer cable. This is a standard 8-wire computer cable that was designed to be used the outdoor, and I use a standard 7-pin plug Clansman, and inside that plug there is a 4-pin that need to be connected, and this is the pins that you have to wire on the computer cable, because the wires are very thick. I use a twisted pair, so each of these cable are basically two together twisted. So I've got a 8 cable connected by pair of two. so I just double them, so I use all the wires inside, and that's a standard plug. You can source that plug from damaged PTT or any other accessories. That's what I did. I just cut the plug, I open it, I soldered the cable, and bam, we've got. So there's also a straight cable, so we have to connect this 4 pins, and the F will be F on the other end, the A will be A, and so on. So straight cable, no mixing. And we are going to use the long plug over here, just like that. And the plug, which is on the 90 degree, we are going to use on the antenna tuning unit. You might ask why, and the answer is because when it's inside the box, the antenna base, you won't be able to fix the long plug and lock it in place. That's why it took so long time to get everything. And as you can see, we are connected. And basically we can run this device, but that's not all. We're going to grab our headset, and our headset is going to be connected to the audio port. Okay, as you can see, it starts looking very professional. And we need a coax that will connect our cable. This is not the coax that should be used, because that was for the elevated VHF antenna, but we are going to use it on that example. So the output from the camera decided to shut down. So what we've got over here, we've got our output from the PRC 351 to the input of the antenna tuner. We've got our power and control cable from the Initiator for the tuning to the radio. We've got our long control cable from the ATU to the input of the antenna tuner. And we just don't have the antenna. And to test it, we are going to create a very simple circuit. I'm going to use 2 resistors, just like that. So I'm combining together 2 50 ohm resistor, so they are in parallel, and right now we have 25 ohm. So this is a mismatch condition. This is our antenna that is bad, and our antenna require a tuning, and lucky we've got our tuner. So what's going to happen as soon as I'm going to power it on, it will start the tuning, and you will hear the device working, and we will have this light go away after the tuning cycle will be completed. So let's hear that. And that's all. We are tuned. I'm going to go to the silent mode, and I'm going to tune again. I'm going to show you the light, because we have to rotate it to be visible. And that's how it's tuning. It's tuning very quickly. I will move it to the camera. So that's how it tunes, very quickly. So we can take a look at the and antenna tuning initiator box. What we've got a normal and the silent. I will unplug the headset. The normal mode is when we are tuning the rod antenna that is connected, and the circuitry inside the tuning the preselector. And with the normal mode we are going to emit the RF into the spectrum. So that is a way that we are going to be here, or we are going to block the frequency for our tuning. So this is only used when you don't need to be avoid of detection, or when the frequency is clear. But if you are in situation that you have hearing someone talking, or you don't want to emit any RF into the spectrum, then you are going into the silent mode. And inside of the unit there is a resistor that is right now terminating the antenna, and when I press the tune button, it won't use this output but built-in resistor, so we are not going to emit any RF. And this is very good in case, for example, there will be someone talking and we are pre-tuned. We've got to tune our bandpass filter inside, and now we can go to the normal and just to continue the tuning, which will be a very, very fast. And we are tuned. So that's how it looks like. That's the difference between these two. And yes, I'm going to kill the light to show you how the tuning bulb, and we are tuned. I can change the frequency, so let him do a little longer work, and you will be able to hear that. So we are tuning, and we are done. Okay, we can of course go couple of more frequency steps. Of course I'm into a dummy load, so no RF is coming out, and I'm tuning. I hope you can hear how nicely it's working. Very nice. Extremely nice. And once again, hit tuning. And we are tuned. So as you can see, the device is working. The device is working very well. And just as I told you, I've just killed the power. And if I re-enable the power, it automatically starts tuning. And we are done. So that's really good. As you can see, very fast. Of course, we are tuning into 25 ohm, but this device is meant to be used with the 2-meter rod antenna. Of course, you can put something else like the Kulikov antenna. That also can be used. So I think that's all what I would like to show. The only thing is the recap for the connection. So this is the connector that's go to between the control panel, and it's using only the 4 wires. And I can show you that over here. This focus, and as you can see, most of the wires are not populated, so we've got only 4 of them. because there are pairs. So we've got only our 4 wires. So I think that's all. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find that interesting. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Thank you very much and bye bye.